exploring Vietnam's historic legacy, a journey to Hỏa Lò Prison. In this tour, we will delve into a significant part of Vietnam's history, Hỏa Lò Prison. Located in the heart of Hanoi, Hỏa Lò Prison stands as one of the country's most important historical landmarks, having witnessed many pivotal events throughout its existence. During the visit, you will be guided through the prison cells, courtyard, and exhibitions, where you can learn more about the lives of prisoners in the early 20th century. You will hear moving stories of resilience and spiritual strength from those who endured these difficult times. Additionally, you will gain insights into the history of Hỏa Lò Prison from the French colonial era to the Vietnam War period, and its crucial role in preserving the historical heritage and educating the public about the country's past. This tour not only provides an opportunity to understand Vietnam's history better, but also serves as a poignant reminder of the resilience and determination of the Vietnamese people in the past. Surrounding the prison is a solid stone wall 4 m high, 0.5 m thick, with broken bottles and high-voltage wires placed on top to prevent prisoners from escaping. At the foot of the inside wall is a 3 m wide sidewalk used for guards to patrol around the prison area. The four corners have 4 watchtowers, capable of observing the entire inside of the patrol route and around the outside of the prison. The administrative area for guarding includes 2 houses. The first floor has a hallway in the middle. On the right is the gendarmerie station, the path to the patrol street, the clerk's office, the detention room and the night guard room. On the left is the guard station, the path to the patrol street, and the supervisor's room. Mayor. The second floor is used as a guard's residence with 2 porches, a dining room, a living room and 4 bedrooms. On one side is the infirmary, on the right side of the stairs is the kitchen, warehouse and laundry. On the left side of the stairs is the native prisoners' infirmary, living room, doctor's room, medicine room and shop. The second floor of this house is also reserved for European defendants and prisoners. On the right, there are 4 rooms and a women's infirmary. On the left, there are also 4 rooms and a men's infirmary. The other houses have only 1 floor and form 3 clusters. The cluster on the right includes 4 detention rooms and the warden's annex, a workshop, an alms hospital, a boarding house for about 30 women, a supervisor's room with bathroom and injection room, 12 small rooms, cells, for dangerous prisoners, a gendarmerie station. A general prison that can accommodate 100 defendants. On the left side there are 4 cells and an annex of the chief warden, a common prison for 40 defendants, and a supervision room. At the end of the row there is a room for about 20 female defendants, an injection room, a workshop, a common cell for 80 defendants, and a supervision room. Bathing and washing water are provided by Hanoi City's water plant. Requirements for construction and materials are very high and extremely strict. Article 17 of the bidding conditions clearly states, all metals used must be imported from France and of top quality. Hinge locks, door jambs, studs and door corners must be of top quality and approved by the architect. All locks and metal objects must be carefully placed and must fit in the provided slots and grooves. Article 19 stipulates that the plate glass used must be glass shipped from France. The glass must be very clear and free of bubbles. Article 30 stipulates checking the foundation soil. Immediately after completing the excavation, the contractor must invite an architect to test the foundation soil and, if possible, the architect will issue a permit to start construction. Article 8 stipulates brick building materials. Bricks must be soaked with water before construction to easily adhere to mortar. Joint construction areas must not be thicker than 0.007 m to 0.008 m. Hỏa Lò Prison was not yet completed, but from 1899 it had to be put into use immediately because the French colonialists arrested a series of people who fought against them. In the years that followed, the prison was regularly renovated and repaired, increasing the area of cells, strengthening the defense and preventing escapes, especially the cell area. 4 double corrugated iron covering the doors, replacing the locks with insurance beams. File 114, National Archives Center I. In 1912, the warehouse was converted into a place to hold child prisoners. In 1917, the sanitation facilities and filter pits were redone. In 1945, the wall surrounding the prison on Hoa Lo Street was raised by 1.5 meters. The remaining 3 sides of Hai Ba Trung, Quan Su, and Tho Num streets were built 2 meters higher. In the original design, the French colonialists intended to imprison 450 prisoners, but in reality they imprisoned up to 2,000 people. Even during the Resistance War, they took 1/4 of the prison as POW Camp No. 1. Na to Hoa Lo La Noi Tuk Dan Phap De Tung Giam Cam Hang Ven Chien Siu Nuoc Va Catch Mang Vietnam O Cap Cac Ten Quoc Su Bac KY Van Wang De Da Nam, Nguai Ra, O De Con Giam Ca To Thuang Pham Va To Nguai Kio. To Nan Voi In Hung Nuoi Bayon Den 5 Nam Hope Tu Hin Ti Tuk Dan Phap Cho Giam Ju O Hoa Lo, Con In Hung Nuoi Bayon 5 Nam Tiaro Len Chung Chuyen Di Nata Sun La. Nata Con Dao Va Mot So Nata Kok. Voi Tin Chat La Na Giam, Na Phap Ly, Na Trung Gioi, Na To Hoa Lo Duok Tuk Dan Phap Trang By Het Suc Toi Ten Voi Kak Tsong Siu Dung Cho Kak Hin Fat Nong Ini Va Him Dok Not Voi To Nan, DACB Kak To Nan La In Hung Chien Sai U Nuoc Va Catch Mang Vietnam. Tai Day, Na Kem Gwin Tuk Dan Cho Ap Dung Mot Che Du Na Tu Hakok. Dung Wa Thursday Don Cuc Hin Tra Tan, Dan Dap Da Man, Nu Na Catch Mang Defy Hai Sin, En Hung Wai Chi Catch Mang Va Tin Then U Nuop Kong He Quat Phuc. Ho De Bien Na To Ton Truong Hoc, Noi Giac Ngo Tuen Trien Duong Loi Catch Mang Qua Dang. Tu Sao Gay Hoa Ben Lap Lai, October 10, 1954, Na To Duok Doi Ten La Tre Tam Giam Pham Nen Hanoi Va Gio Cho Oi Ban Quan Hanoi. Truc Thuoc Nguyen Quan Ly Quat Sung and Ton Pho. Trong In Hung Nam 1964 Den Nam 1973, Na To Hoa Lo Con La Noi Giam Ju In Hung Phi Tsong Mai. Nam 1993, De Dapung Nu Ka Phat Trien Qua Thursday Du, Na Nuoc Vietnam Quiet Din, Mot Fan Qua Na To Hoa Lo Duoc Su Dung De Zay Dung Phap Trung Tom Dung Lam Kok San, Van Phong Cho Thieu, Mot Fan Teep Giap Duong Pho Hoa Lo Duoc Bao Tun Tao Tong Ku Lu Nim Na To Hoa Lo. Tai Ku Di Tich Nai Ko Dai Tuong Nim Kak Chien Syu Nuoc, Catch Mang De Hai Sin Tai Na To Hoa Lo. Mo Hin Tai Tao Hin On Kak Chien Si Catch Mang Trong Lao Tu, Cheek Mai Kem Matuk Dan Phap De Dung De Han Quiet Kak Chien Si Nuoc, Catch Mang Va He Thong Trung Bay Nu Hien Vat, Hin On Tu Lu Qui. The system of cells at Hoa Lo Prison has different areas but all follow a common design. Tile-roofed houses, very solid walls, gray limewash, windows carved close to the roof, making the cells dark. Suffocating. The mobile compost bin is placed right in the prison cell. Every day, dozens of people go to the toilet. For many days it is not cleaned, the waste is full and overflows, causing serious pollution. At Hoa Lo Prison, there are also special prison areas, which are Kakhot, dungeon, and death penalty cells. Prisoners at Hoa Lo Prison have to do many types of forced labor. Common jobs include serving outside offices, working to build dikes, maintain roads, and clean feces tanks inside the house. Prison. Prisoners are forced to work with all their might, because their work performance will be tied to each of their meals. Prisoners will not receive food if they do not complete their assigned work. Prisoners are also subjected to punishments prescribed by the prison, such as being imprisoned in a dungeon, being chained with double shackles and locked up after dinner, being chained at night, being forced to do hard labor. The diet of prisoners at Hoa Lo Prison is carried out by bidding method. The contractor will provide meals for prisoners. In fact, meals are cut in portion size. Food quality is not guaranteed. Contractors often use poor quality foods, moldy rice, rancid food. Each year, prisoners are given 2 sets of clothes and an additional blanket for use in the winter. The harsh confinement regime, heavy forced labor, unsanitary living environment, and poor diet quickly exhausted the prisoners' strength. Many people died in prison before their imprisonment had ended. Hold. Here, the French colonialists imprisoned male political prisoners under an extremely harsh regime, aiming to gradually kill and destroy the elite children of the Vietnamese Revolution. In the years 1930 to 1931, the warden of Hỏa Lò Prison enforced strict regulations to prevent communist soldiers from spreading propaganda, organizing struggles, and destroying the formation of prisoner organizations in the prison. However, the communist soldiers still found ways to continue their activities and unite to fight, demanding that the wardens must properly implement the regime for political prisoners. In the years 1940 to 1945, at the prison, political training classes were held relatively loudly. Brothers study the resolutions, programs, Viet Minh Charter, etc. to help each other improve their understanding and level of political theory. To have documents for revolutionary propaganda and study in prison, they often crawled under the floor to compile. The brothers also hid documents by chiseling walls, removing bricks and disguising them as before, so that the documents would not fall into enemy hands, even though the Dementors regularly organized searches. During the period 1946 to 1954, Camp E belonged to Camp 1, where a group of prisoners that the French colonialists called prisoners of war were held. The war spread and prisoners increased, making Camp 1 always full of people. Despite living in prison with many hardships and challenges, in the face of cunning and violent enemies, the Vietnamese patriotic and revolutionary soldiers were not discouraged or discouraged, maintained their revolutionary will, and remained alive. Still fighting. By the end of 1951, most prisoners in the death penalty camp were nearing the end of their sentences. Faced with that urgent situation, the party group of the death penalty cell decided to organize a collective escape. The leadership of the prison escape included comrades Dang Dinh Khai, head of the death penalty prison party group, No Hung Hao, member of Hỏa Lò Prison party cell, and Tran Minh Viet, party member. The policy of escaping from prison was reported by the Hỏa Lò Prison Party Committee and received help from the Inner City District Party Committee. To escape from prison, they had to first take their feet out of the shackles. The brothers used rags soaked in lard and charcoal to burn the wood, widening the hole in the shackles, then camouflaged it with lampblack and kneaded it with oil to erase the burn marks of shackles. When the hole in the shackles was widened, the brothers took their feet out of the shackles, exercised, and prepared for the escape plan. It is important to get a sample of the death penalty cell door key, which is usually in the Busan warden's bag. Busan is inherently a table tennis enthusiast, so to do this, the death row inmates fought, demanding more time on the field and the right to play sports. This proposal was agreed by the chief warden. One morning, the plan to sample the key was made. As soon as the cell door opened, two comrades Pham Dinh Lien and Dang Dinh Khai rushed into the table tennis match. When the Busan supervisor arrived, Comrade Lien politely let him fight with Comrade Kentucky. After a few checks, Busan won, so he was very excited. Taking this opportunity, Comrade No Hung Hao went in to borrow a set of keys from Busan, under the pretext of using it to open the cell door and close the prisoner's nameplate that had come off. Busan happily handed over the keys. Just a moment later, Comrade No Hung Hao immediately returned them and Busan did not suspect anything. The task of making the key was assigned to Comrade Vu Duc Chin, who was a skilled goldsmith. After 10 days of hard work, Comrade Chin finished making 2 keys and when tried, they could both open the door. Also during this time, the Inner City District Party Committee sent a map of sewer lines and saw blades, and acid came in from outside through the supply line. With the saw blade in hand, the board of directors decided specifically on the steps to be carried out. Comrade Vu Duc Chin was appointed to perform the sawing of the iron bars. First, we had to saw the iron bars of the cell window, then the hallway door to the farmyard. While Vu Duc Chin sawed, Comrades Van Hung and Minh Viet stood guard. To drown out the sound of sawing, Some brothers were assigned to grind the casings of dairy pipes onto the cement floor to make drinking glasses, creating loud noises, drowning out the sound of sawing. With the skillful hands of Vu Duk Chin, the saw joints are performed accurately. After the saw is completed, the saw marks are disguised. Safety pins are used to prevent if the supervisor checks and uses his hand to shake the beams, but could not be detected. After finishing sawing the iron bars of the cell door and the hallway to the yard, two comrades Min Viet and Van Hung took turns opening the cell door so that comrade Vu Duk Chin could go down to the sewer to saw the bars. Iron. Every time Vu Duk Chin left the prison cell, comrade No Hung Hao had the task of disguising himself with blankets and clothes to create the image of comrade Vu Duk Chin sleeping. Some other brothers were assigned to stay in their cells. If there was any movement, they poured water through the hole at the foot of the wall, out into the sewer, and informed comrade Vu Duk Chin to stop sawing and wait for the situation to calm down. Sawing the iron bars at the underground sluice gate took 10 consecutive days. The time for the escape was set for December 29, 1951. Suddenly, on December 20, 1951, the prison lord ordered increased inspections and brought the late pagan Lud to visit death row prisoners earlier than usual. The Escape Command Board consulted, analyzed the situation and decided to escape earlier at 7 p.m. on December 24, 1951. At the appointed time, after the supervisor went for the first check, 17 death row inmates one by one left the cell and went down the drain, in 3 groups. The first group are comrades, Vu Duk Chin, Nguyen Van The, Min Viet, Vu Din Khoi, Nguyen Gia Thiet. Then came Nguyen Van Hung, Nguyen Hu Tai, Pham Van Dang, Che Lai T Sin, common prisoner, Nguyen Van Lung, Nguyen Van Loi, Trin Din Tang, Pham Van Van, Pham Din Lin, Vu Din Quang, Dang Van Chuyet, and the last person down was Dang Din Kai. The sewer is deep, dark, filled with feces, urine, and stinking garbage. In the middle of a cold winter night that cut skin and flesh, the whole group of prisoners tried to cling and help each other to the manhole and one by one crawled to the surface of Quan Su Street. When they reached the sewer surface, they saw police sirens blaring, and they tried to run towards the Do Tak House, now the Vietnam-Soviet Friendship Cultural Palace. Zippies arrived from all 4 directions. A team of black and white Western soldiers jumped down and used batons to continuously beat the prisoners. The brothers were brave, protected each other, and fought back fiercely, but due to being shackled for a long time and having to deal with many more guards, 12 people were captured, only 5 people escaped, Vu Duk Chin, Nguyen Gia Thiet, Vu Din Quang, Vu Din Khoi, and Nguyen Van Hung. The French colonialists brutally tortured 12 captured death row prisoners. A few days later, they took comrade Pham Van Dang and a common prisoner, Che Lai T Sin, to be executed. The remaining 10 people were exiled to Con Dao prison and were released in September 1954.
So they kept all the
Ici, il y a quelques images.
Whenever they have heard the aircraft shot down, police and the military officer to rescue them from the angry crowd. Otherwise, they could kill them right away.
There's another small place there. You want to go? Yeah. I mean, you still want to see that. Này là có bia này.
Khoai ơi, Khoai ơi.
Hai lăm ông kia, vô mắt kia.
Ngồi đây nghe hết cả. Đó.
This is the crowd seating.
This one, the bed in hospital. So we was sent to hospital. So we had a broken arm and then was sent to just so we saw the place where we captured in a way here where shoot bags. One, the smaller one, shoot bags.
Oh,
I saw that in actually rescued him.
Thứ nhất là không duy trì đời giống thứ hai là Trung Quốc.
công nhận là không duy trì người giống đúng không?
Đúng rồi, phải duy trì đời giống nhau. Điều này như thế này. Ở đâu? Có người làm. Lên đây mà lên đây.
Đây là toàn cảnh rồi. biến ra kim cương ở đây hả? Kim cương à? Kim cương em nghe nhiều nào phú cư sao phú cư tại chỗ đâu luôn phú cư rất là lớn
với hàng trắng sau lưới thép bảo vệ. Đặc biệt nhất là những ngục tối và xà lim giam giữ tử tù. Theo thiết kế ban đầu, Hỏa Lò chỉ được giam 500 tù nhân, nhưng có thời điểm số người bị nhốt ở đây lên tới 2.000. Tất thành đã tạo nên một không gian chật hẹp, tăm tối, đầm thềm vây quanh người tù. Một chế độ giam cầm, tra tấn, hành hạ tù nhân hết sức hà khắc đã được giám thị mật thám cảnh sát Pháp thực thi. Công tù xích sắt kết chặt những cẳng chân, cẳng tay người tù chỉ còn da bọc xương. Cay ngọt, khát nước lạnh ướp đầm đìa tù nhân khi trời rét. Chế độ ăn uống không thể tồi tệ hơn. Và những hình phạt khủng khiếp đối với người tù: đánh đập, dây đầu vào thùng nước, nhốt người vào thùng khuy, đậy nước lại, rồi dùng gậy yếu gõ cho chân tay nhức óc. Dù dần nhất là hình phạt xử chém. Chiếc máy chém thời Trung Cổ bây giờ này đã từng hình thức người chiến sĩ đánh nước trong cuộc chiến.
Gewoon niemand bij de stop. Ja, zo'n toeristbike bij de stop. Det var af med det der stoppen der, og næste morgen kom det.
ว่าไงว่าไงหมาเรียกมา
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ